Another vlog. In this one I'm going to show you how we upgraded our Land Rover Discovery 4 tow bar. So why have we decided to upgrade our tow bar? Well, for two main reasons, and the first one is the original tow bar we had with the car, the swan neck detachable one supplied by Land Rover, was okay, did the job, and yes, I had fitted an additional retaining plate. But I've read several stories now about how these things wear, or could wear, and become detached from the car. I know it's rare, but it's one of those things that's been bugging me, and if I'm honest, I'm just looking for an excuse to get the tools out and upgrade the tow bar. The second one is we want to start taking our bikes. We've got a couple of little bikes we use at the minute, but if we can take them away with us, it gives us more opportunity to explore rather than just riding around in a car, or doing long walks. And the options for taking the bikes are a bit limited. We could put them in the caravan, but they're big and cumbersome, and the risk of damaging the van internally or externally while I'm doing it is a bit of a concern. The other one is that we could put them on top of the car, but the Discovery 4 is already quite a tall vehicle, and it would make the lifting of the bikes to the top of there a little bit strenuous, precarious, and then when they were on, if they were on up there, that makes the whole vehicle really tall, a lot taller than the caravan. Something again I didn't really want to do. So after a bit more research, I've decided that the best option for us would be to have a tow ball or a tow bracket mounted detachable cycle rack. There's limited options in that, I couldn't fit that type of cycle rack bracket to a swan neck detachable tow ball. It needs to be to a fixed bar because it fixes on behind the tow ball itself through the two bolts. So having decided to do that, I searched eBay and eventually found at a really good price a Pendle hanging bike rack, which hangs off the back of the vehicle, not the door but the fixed to the tow ball, at a really good price. Just needed cleaning up and a coat of paint. So we've got that. I ordered the bar. The bar came from Tow Bars, I think it was Tow Bars UK, and it's a TT, a Tow Bars Trust or something, a model TL1, which was recommended by several people on a couple of the Land Rover forums online, over and above the Witter one. So we've got the new tow bar, we've got the tow ball bracket mounted cycle rack, and the following video is going to show you just how I put it together. There's virtually no dismantling of the current tow bar because it's all built into the vehicle, other than releasing the detachable swan neck ball. Just to add, the new tow bar has a weight limit of 150 kilograms. The caravan has a maximum nose weight of 100 kilograms, so it leaves us well, in theory 50 kilograms to play with if we upgrade the bikes in the future. So we'll just have to be careful that we don't get too huge, great big heavy bikes. Yeah, so have a look at the video. That's what we did. I'm really pleased with the outcome. At this point, I'd just like to say thanks for watching. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. You'll get notified of the next videos we issue. We've got a couple in the pipeline. One is we bought a new sun canopy when we were at the NEC show in February. It's not a camper, it's not an Isabella, and we're about to go away in a week's time and try that out. That'll be really interesting. I'm keen on trying that. And then after that we're off to France. That'll probably be a series of, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos, see how we got on, how eventful it is. But that should be really interesting. So yeah, like, subscribe, I'll say thank you. And coming up now is the footage of me struggling to get this tow bar fitted. So have a look at the video and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. So this is the one we're going to change. This is standard Land Rover swan neck detachable ball. For the reasons we've already mentioned anyway. So let's get that one out and get started. And just before we start, what I think I'm going to do, we'll have the engine running so we know the suspension's fully pumped up, and we'll measure the distance from the centre of the ball to the ground and also out from here, so it's a comparison with the new one when it gets fitted. 428mm to the centre of the ball. Just take the square edge, measure from the back of there to the centre of the ball. That's 65mm. Take the access panel off. Go. Before we can get this off, I've got to just remove the eye bolt for the breakaway cable, and then, if you can see that, remove this plate, which is the bracket plate I added to give it a little bit more resistance to come out. Bit of a safety device, but that's all coming out. We're going to change that. To improve access, I've dropped the spare wheel so I can get spanners in behind here. In the instructions for the new tow bar, it says it needs to come out to get access to get the new brackets in, so that's that down. I just drag that out of the way. Well, Sharon's not here at the minute, she's took her mum to the hospital for a checkup, so Beau's all on her own. So you coming to help me, ain't you? Hey? You're going to sit in there and keep a check on me. Good girl. Stay there because I've got to put the tailgate up. There you go. She can keep an eye on me and I can keep an eye on her. Earth the bolts out. Just about. There we go. And there's my plate. You can see the plate's got a slight bend in it already. There's not a lot of strength in the middle of there. Now we take the key, unlock the bar. He says, pull the handle enough to turn it. This never ever wants to come out. Well, it came out eventually with a bit of help with the hide copper hammer. There's all the parts for the new bar. Really heavy, really well made. Comes with all the bolts and all the fittings, instructions. The tow ball I bought separately from the same place, but it's a long neck one for the Alco stabiliser on the caravan, which I recommend, gives you a bit more room. So other than removing the original drop, what I call the drop ball, the detachable ball from the back of the car, there's nothing else to take off. This supplements everything else that's on the car already. So yeah, let's crack on. Before we fit the first part, I just want to make sure that there's no obstructions or in the way of mud or dirt or grit in there on those faces. That's really nice and clean in there. Yeah, quite happy with that. Right, this is the first part to go in. It's a bit difficult to lay down here and do this. This is the first part to go in. That's going to sit in there like so, permanently, with a bolt through the middle. So it should go something like that bit. That bit goes up and in, bolt in through the back. Let's see if we can get that bit in. That's that bit in. Torqued up 250 Newton meters. You can see the bolt in the back there with the washer on. Hopefully. It's a bit dark here, it's not easy to see, is it? Right, part one fitted. So that next bit, I'm not going to lie to you, that was very difficult. I've had to install this spacer both sides. It sits inside the box frame, the chassis, so you have to kind of jiggle it through the elongated hole, but it is very tight when it goes in, and the head of the bolt will drop back down into the chassis member. It fits eventually, but it's not easy. I'll try and get into there and show you what it looks like when it's in. So that's one. That bolt there is now through the chassis member and out the other side. The nuts on loose, ready to take the first bracket. It's the same on the other side. Nice fit now, but the spacer bar, the spacer tube, I'm trying to point where we're going, sits internal to this cross member, the chassis member, sorry, and you fit it in through an elongated hole on this side, and then the bolt drops back down the slot again. It's in, it's done, but it was a bit of a faff. This first piece goes on there like so. Oh, I need a flat washer, here it is. That way. Just get one in there. That's all the ironwork on, all torqued up. That's pretty much the heavy duty stuff. We've got the spare wheel to put back, but before we do that I just want to put a little bit of wax oil under there and yeah, we'll catch up in a little bit. So, progress to date. The bar is on, everything's bolted up, fitted, secured. If I'm honest, getting the spare wheel back in was a little tight, but it's gone in. So just watch for that if you're going to do this yourselves. Next part is to loosely put the ball on and see where we are for height, so we can decide which set of holes we need. Well, I started the engine up again and measured it, compared it to the measurements we took earlier. We're on the lowest of the two pairs of holes, and it is 27mm higher to the centre of the ball. So this one sits just about an inch higher, and it also sits 35mm out, further out from the rear bumper of the vehicle. So it's very close. I don't think we'll have too much of a problem, but we'll see when we get the caravan hooked up. So yeah, we'll get the bike rack fitted, which will obviously push it out another 10 or 15mm, and yeah, we'll see where we are. And that's the finished article. It's a bit of a beast. I've got some steel